give allegiance to minimize Doug's work. And let me hit record. And here we go. Welcome, everybody. Today is April 4th, 3 days past April Fools. But we're still here anyhow. So this is Dallas Personal Robotics Group Builders Night Virtual. And we're going to do the usual thing, go around the table with show and tell of our robot projects or robot questions. So far we have in queue Ray and then Scott and then open mic. So I'm going to step away, but you all are free to roam. So Ray and then Scott and then open mic.
Okay. Has anybody heard of April tags?
Yes,
Okay. Have you used them?
I haven't, but Kareem has.
Yeah.
I read up about them. I think they would be pretty easy to use. I just haven't had a need for it.
Yeah, I think they can be, and the kind of stuff that we do, pretty useful.
Yep.
There's an up here. You can get, each tag can be unique. You can get distance information from it.
Mm-hmm.
There. Okay, April tags. Can you see that?
Yes.
Screen?
Yes.
Terminal. Make this bigger. No image. Okay, what's going on here? Oh. Okay, so here. I'll try to make that as big as I can. Oh, come on. Yeah, I guess that's as big as it gets. Anyway, so the OpenM VH7 supports 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different families of tags. And I don't know if you can see it down here. It found two different tag IDs, tag ID 0, tag ID 1 of tag 16H5. And so that's this one on, it's just a piece of foam board, and this one that's just taped to the edge of the table. And those, let's see, this one is a little further away. I think I can go to about 7 feet, or well, 6 and, yeah, so it's still picking it up back there. Although it looks like it might have a little hard time there. Maybe a little closer. Oop. Anyway, so that looks like to be the limit of it. It looks like it's really got to be, perpendicular to the camera. If it's skewed at all, it has a harder time getting it or receiving it. I was kind of hoping Kareem would be on tonight. Supposedly you can blow these up or make them larger. And these are printed on 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, and it's roughly 8.25 inches side to side. So there's a little bit of white border around the periphery of this black box or black line. So it's not bad. It's finding it. You can get the centroid, that's the green X. and his language is a little weird, but there's like if you just scan over this, whoops, here we go. There is a image. Nope, not what I'm looking for. There it is. Along with the CX and the CY here, this is actually supposed to be FY. I think it's just a misprint, but there's an FX and an FY, and it's got to do with, how many pixels it, are in the X direction and in the Y direction. And it's got to do, like with a ratio of pixels in the camera, and that is how I think you're supposed to get distance with those two parameters, and then the CX and CY, kind of the position left and right, up and down.
So what is rotation, Ray?
If it doesn't look at this thing like dead on or square, or if it's skewed, like I can take this one and rotate it, it should change accordingly.
I don't know. It seems to be bouncing around an awful lot. Well, there. Okay. Yeah, it looks like you.
Yeah.
Is the other one upside down by any chance?
Nope. Well, the one looks like it's just,
It's bouncing from like 360. Oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry. It's bouncing around 350 something to 1, so it's really just almost perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got yeah. And the other one is at 35. Okay, now I'm seeing it. Okay,
Yeah.
but distance. What's that 19.7 that's popping around in the bottom?
That's actually the frame rate right here,
okay.
the frames per second.
Okay. Got it.
So it's just under 20, which isn't bad if it's not connected to this IDE. It's it's supposed to be a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not bad. It kind of gets away from issues with changing light with blob detection. So
Yeah.
it seems a lot more tolerant about lighting conditions, because you're just looking for black and white dots. You're not looking for a range of colors.
Yeah.
So I was kind of curious what Kareem has done. I know the FTC and all those clubs have, they've used them, and this thing even has a
Yeah, there are also probably somewhere FTC libraries that you could find.
yeah. And they said that April tags, because they're simpler than QR codes,
Yeah.
work better in this application. And it seems like of all of them. Anyway, I just wanted to show. There's an April tag generator here for the different family of tags, and
Yeah.
they have different numbers of tags in them.
Yeah, I think on if you go to whatever university that originated them,
Yeah.
they have a generator there, I believe.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Or at least for
Yeah.
some of they might not have them all, but for a couple of the families.
Yeah. So this one, you can, you click on it, and it asks you which range you want. It goes, and like this one is 0 to 29.
Mm.
And the other ones have, several
100,
hundred tags you can
Yeah.
do. And it creates a file, and then you can just print it out on, any printer pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's going to FedEx tonight, along with other things, and they're doing other plans. And she's getting, I tried to blow it up a little bit on like 11 by 17 paper.
Yeah.
And after that, I guess you've got to go to a plotter, and they charge by the square foot. And I thought, okay, well, if I can get away with just a little bit more distance, like 10 feet, um, that might work in some of the contests that we do. So anyway, I just wondered if anybody else had experience with it, or
No, but I know Kareem has. He brought it up. If you look back there's probably some links in the chat thing. Yeah.
oh, okay. I'll take a look, see what he's got.
Okay.
So I think he may have had some issues with it. I don't know if it was the size of the tags they had to use, or
Those were pretty small. They were less. They were only about 4 by 5 or something, because they were actually on cones, little small orange cones.
yeah.
And I don't. He didn't say that he had any issues with them. So they
I
they
think
seem to
for
be pretty
graded-
robust. They're very robust.
Yeah. So I guess for greater distances, I wanted to use a wide angle lens so I could see two of them pretty close to the goal. So I have one on either side of the goal, and be able to see it and read it. And I think I'm hoping these ones that I got, enlarged, or
Well, I guess my first thought on it is, if you set them on both sides of the goal, okay, you could make sure you knew the distance. Say it's 12 feet.
Yeah. Well, it's 7, but
7.
yeah.
Okay, 9 feet then. Okay, so because you're on the outside somehow,
Yeah.
and you could, if you knew the distance of between them, and where you are, you should be able to tell by the how much you in other words, where they are in your field of view. Otherwise, if you saw one off of center, you would know where the location. You could do the same thing with just 2 poles, but maybe the thing that this might also give you, if you can figure out, if you know the initial size and how many pixels, you might be able to find the distance. Be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's what those FX and FY parameters are used for. I think at least that code seems to provide that for you. So that's kind of nice. If you can actually use it for the size of it in the field of view to indicate, a distance, then
Yeah,
you're
well,
doing pretty good.
if you just did it with a colored pole or something like that, and you used a 180-degree lens, you would always be in. Well, can't say that. As soon as you say that, it doesn't happen. But most likely they would be in view all the time until you got turned around, Ray, and we're heading for the wrong goal again.
Yeah.
So.
So Ray, do you intend to use these like for beacons for 6CAN, or how? I mean,
Yeah, that was my thought. If you could get pretty much, which goal to go to, what your orientation is, what your distance is, to those 2 fiducials.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of covers a lot of stuff, and you
You
can
know
do it.
in the rules, you can't put beacons on the end of the course. You can only put them on the side.
Right. And you
Yeah,
can't put them
that's
behind the
right, yeah.
goal. You can't put them behind the goal at all. So
Right.
even on the sides, you can't put it behind the goal. The only place you can put it is in the, how long, the 10-foot
On the
section?
sides, yeah.
Yeah, 10-foot section on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's I mean, I'm not trying to talk smack, Ray, but you do have this tendency to head towards the wrong goal. That might be very useful for you.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Huh?
that little platform is no more.
Okay.
It's salvage right at this point. So.
Yeah. So it's up
Moving
on little April tags blocks, right?
Say that again.
It's on little April tag blocks right now, right? You know,
Um,
like cinder
well,
blocks,
oh yeah. So it's categorized for the individual components. You mean here? It
Yeah,
is.
yeah. So,
Yep.
well, that's cool. But
So,
you have an update on the air blaster? I'm just curious if your solenoid. Did you ever get your solenoid?
yeah, I got it in. Seems to be working pretty good. Hasn't exploded yet, so the Chinese junk is a fraction of the cost of, like stuff you get here in the United States. Like
Yeah.
I think I said last time, if you want a U.S. manufactured solenoid valve, it's $200 to $300. Uh, this one I think was $29. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So
I think you do get what you pay for. So
yeah, yeah. So you're going the solenoid route and not the servo activated blower switch.
yeah, it's a little too slow. The solenoid, you can open and close it several times a second if you want. And,
Mm.
I'm hoping to, just open it varying amounts depending on how close to the goal I am, because closer I am, the lower the pressure is going to be for one thing, and so I may not need to at this point. I got to do some experimentation to see what, for a given distance,
Yeah.
how long I have to have the air on to, push it through the goal.
Yep.
So,
So, very
yep. So things are looking pretty good so far. I was just, thinking, cover a lot of things with April tags, a lot of the things that we do in our contests. So
Hmm. Yeah, I think they could be useful. I just
don't want to be, a dinosaur and
just
bring
keep.
that same old platform in.
Yeah. Well, right now I'd be happy to get that old platform back in. I've been having some issues. Boy, it's amazing, So I hadn't looked at the code on this robot for 2 years because I was working on other robots, and I evolved, as you all do, And now I go back looking at this 2-year-old code base, and I'm going like, wow, that's the way I did it. Sometimes I see little strokes of genius, but more often I see, oh my God, not that way.
It happens to me every now and then, about once a week.
Yeah. Well, so
I agree. Never let an electrician program.
yeah. Well, I kind of look at this as a problem that we're constantly kind of resolving parts of it, and I'm trying to make it more and more portable, and without making the leap to C++. I'm not sure that's not a good way to go. I think that probably is the best way, but just like I say, I've already see this bright light down at the end of the tunnel, so I'm trying very hard not to spend a whole lot of time relearning stuff that I can get by with.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not just a freight train coming at you?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So we'll just see if we can get this. But you guys have got me inspired, both you and Scott, so I'm hoping to be there with a super fast robot. But it'll be very conventional. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. All right. So who was next on the line?
I think I was.
Okay. Hey, Scott. Let me put in.
Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and give you and Ray some motivation now.
Okay.
I'm not going to be there in May. My mother
Oh,
decided to have her 80th birthday party on that day.
okay. Oh,
Um,
man. Well, now,
So, Ray, you may come in second to Doug, but I don't know. It won't be me this time.
oh, man, I hate to see that, Scott. I mean, not that it's great that your mother's having an 80th birthday.
Yeah. Well, I told her, I said, why the hell did you have to pick that Saturday out of all the stuff? It's not even your birthday.
Yeah. Well,
So,
okay.
so anyway, a buddy of mine, he actually works for one of the robotics companies here in town,
Yeah.
and he gave me this. I don't know how you pronounce it, Hoiko. I mean, it's a commercial lidar. It's like
Okay. Can you show Scott? We didn't see it when you were pointing at it. Nope. You're gonna have to bring. Yeah. There. Okay. I got.
Well, the cables won't reach, but
Okay.
here I'll show you. So let me see if I can drag this over here. I guess it doesn't work that way. Hang on a second.
Oh, does it scan?
Yeah, well, I was going to show you a picture of it, but it doesn't. I selected the window. Here, hang on a second. There we go.
Okay.
So this is basically the picture of what it is. And if you got to request a quote, they're not in the hobbyist range, but these things actually go for about $1,500. And my buddy works repairing them, and this was, I guess, an R&D sample or something they were experimenting with. But I was really amazed because this is like the scanner application that you can get from them. With the accuracy on this thing, like I had it set up to the box. Like you can see here, this is the box that's sitting on my bench right here. But the thing that I found really interesting is you can take like a pen or a pencil and you see the little, how it's got like a 1/10 degree resolution to it. So this is, you can kind of see, I don't know, can y'all make that out?
Yeah.
The little groove right there.
Mm.
Basically, you get a green line until it hits something. So the green shows what the distance is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you have like this part right here is the box. So if I put a pin in front of it, then that's where that little thing comes from. So I was really amazed at the resolution on this because the one like I have on CanMan, it's just one reading per degree, so you only get like 360 degrees or 360 readings, one for each degree. And like I said, when I saw the specs on this, and it's like a 1/10 degree, and I have this turned down. You can change the range of it. So that you get, wider field of view if you want.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with using it on a robot is that it's a Wi-Fi interface. It's a RJ45. So you'd have to have for an embedded. I guess you could do it with a Raspberry Pi or something. I don't know
Yeah.
how it would enumerate, but I hadn't got that far yet. I just got this a couple of weeks ago and been playing around with it. But
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty interesting, the resolution on it and how stable it is. But my buddy was telling me they use this on their robots, which they deploy in like restaurants,
Yeah.
and they use it to keep from running into stuff. But same thing,
Yeah.
for. So, just thought it was interesting.
That's really good. How much do those units typically cost just for grids?
I found them, they're about $1,200 to $1,500.
Okay. Well, I mean,
So, I told him if he had any extra laying around, let me know.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, the LiDAR I have on mine can be just in a straight line about 10 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have,
Ultrasonic to pull it in, and then I can use it to zero in.
Yeah.
yeah, I have a spinning one on CanMan that I read the wall with, I read the walls and I update my odometry inside the course based on the LiDAR data
Yeah.
off of the walls. So I know, like my Y, I know where I'm at, side to side. And then if I see a gap that's 35 inches wide, then I update the X. So I know where I'm at. I'm always running on odometry, but being able to
Recover.
reset it, or like if you get pushed, or especially like in six can or can soccer, what I forget what it's called. If you get bumped or run into, then it really makes a difference to be able to update it. I know, like David, he would rotate his robot and like align it to the wall.
Yeah.
So I think he was using it for the heading though.
Yeah. Well, what he would do, I believe, is like if he would sweep and look for a minimum on the distances of his sweep, and then he'd use that as one dimension.
Well, when I was talking to him about it, he would take the two sonar sensors and he would line it until they both had the same reading. So he'd basically kind of look at the wall and say, okay, I'm perpendicular here to the sidewall.
Yeah.
So now I know my orientation as far as a heading goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't believe he used it anyway in updating his his X and Y.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
with the rotating LiDAR, you don't really have to align to anything. You can it's all relative to what your heading is, right? And so I mean I had several routines that you kind of look for, it's a lot of geometry where you're looking for triangulation, where your base is the same as your hypotenuses, and so you're comparing the three different vectors. To really, I never really got that working right, because it was easier just to say, okay, I can measure the walls out here. I know they're 7 feet wide, and I can measure. And the thing about the LiDARs for the time of flights is they're extremely accurate on distance. So I think this one is down to the millimeter. And I think that one that I have on CanMan is like centimeters. But it's pretty spot on.
Scott, do you know how fast that thing rotates? Is it like 5 times a second, or probably a lot faster than that, right?
No, I don't. It actually, it's not 360. It's only 270 degree. So it scans back and forth, or maybe it spins in there. I don't know, but like they use like a little shield that goes over it, like a visor. I guess for the the up and down, and also the peripheral.
We use those at work for what we call foot sensors. So if you stand in the wrong spot in a machine, it'll shut the machine down. And you can program them, the perimeters on them, like you was doing. So that, I think, just like that where we work, where I work. So. And I got them set up on the machine. So.
To prevent those industrial accidents?
Yeah. I'm glad it's not the other way around, like the thing.
Yeah, it's like I only got the one finger left.
Yeah.
So, good luck, Ray. You may get first place this time.
Yeah, it could.
Nah. I'm gonna snatch victory from him just when he thinks he's got it.
Hey, you're welcome to try, Doug.
Well, Doug, can you send a robot via proxy?
Yeah, you could if you wanted to, if you trust us. With
Trust the
you know,
mail, yeah.
you know,
Oh,
I'm
no.
I mean, no, really, that's if you wanted to, we could run it. We wouldn't be able to do any corrections, but you probably wouldn't anyway during it.
No.
We probably could tune up the Pixie on it, but I think other than that, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable. You don't want to give it back to you with a wheel kind of having a little dink in it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that either.
Yeah,
All
I,
those
would,
custom
I wouldn't want
machine
that for
parts.
you.
yeah. So, but anyway.
So that's all I had.
Okay, well that's cool. That's a neat thing. I do have a little something I'd like to throw in here. There's a message from Donna Smith from Society of Robots out in Seattle. I don't know if has anybody seen it or looked at it? Oh,
I don't think I got anything.
I wonder why she. Anyway, they're having their Robo Magellan and a couple of variations, and between you and me, I think we had some influence on Donna because they're going to have their traditional Robo Magellan. Then they're going to have some, I guess you'd call them tasks. Okay, so like one of the tasks is to go out 500 feet and come back. Another one is to go around a square. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I mean, they've had those contests for years, so I'm not trying to say, but I'm just saying. And then there's a third one, which unfortunately I can't recall at the moment. But I think there's going to be 3 tasks besides their Robo Magellan. It's going to be in September, early September, if I remember right. Give me a second, I could probably find it. Give me just a second here. No. Okay.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. I thought Seattle Robotics Society kind of made us look like the Special Olympics.
Well, they probably do, but oh man,
where everybody's a winner.
Okay, let me see if I can get down to that. Donna, here it is. Okay, it's going to be on September 9th. Okay, and they're also having their virtual Robotron exposition, which is what they've done in the past, where they come virtually and they have like three to six people talk. And I want to say Doug is on that. Doug, are you signed up for that on June 5th, 10th?
I am not signed up for anything. I was last time.
Oh, maybe I just saw the people that were on there from last time. But so they're going to have another one on June 10th, which is, that's always fun to watch, and I will probably join them. And but I don't think I could have my Robo Columbus ready by September 9th, but Ted might. He could probably get it going, and Scott, you could probably get yours going. It might be fun. It might be fun to take a small group up to Seattle. Just somebody to do their robot and somebody to cheer them on. I don't mind going to Seattle because my son lives up there. So anyway. Something to think about. If you can get your robot ready by that time, It would be fun. And like I say, you don't even have to necessarily be able to do, hunt out cones, because, there and back in a Foursquare is just pretty much going to be odometry or whatever you're using. So, kind of cool. And I know they're not penalizing if you cut across the square. Otherwise, I don't know how it works. I don't know if there's like 4 cones that you have to go around, or exactly how it works, but or whether it's 4 markers on the floor or ground, I have no idea. But they do have a page with the rules. I didn't go into that detail. So anyway, I just thought I'd jump that in.
So is all of it outside? Like,
Yes, it is
go 500 feet out and back?
all of it's outside, and it's going to be at a school out in their area.
I got something I might want to share.
Okay.
I'm not going to make it. Probably ain't going to make the 6 can this year.
Oh no.
But I've learned to messing with the trigonometry and which I'm not real sharp on that stuff, but in Arduino, and y'all have heard of Tinkercad?
Yes.
Well, it's got an Arduino simulator in it. Anyway, I wrote some code in there just to save it there, and I wrote some code to solve a right triangle, and then do the sine, cosine, and tangent using the Arduino code, and then to turn my degrees into ticks, into encoder ticks, and then back again, so that I can read the encoder, and do some stuff on using, some trigonometry in the 6 can when I do it. So to turn, 360 into the ticks on the encoder and then back again. So I've learned that. That's something I've learned in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, good.
That's good.
So that's something, that I'm moving along. So at least I know that I can take my robot. I haven't done it yet, but I know I can take my robot and take it off of a straight line, tell it to go, use it. I know I'm going to use the sensor to let it, go find it, set the angle of it and go pick the can up and then shoot back over to my line, my center line, and then back out to the end of the goal. So that's so I'm going to be using that. Hopefully that'll work for me. So I'm just going to use some odometry to do that, but I'm learning how to do it. So that's a plus for me. I don't think I'm going to have the robot ready next month at all, but I will be able to do the straight line competition and the four corner competition.
Sounds good.
So Michael,
Yeah.
were you doing all that in the simulator in Tinkercad then?
Yeah, Tinkercad. I was just doing I'm just doing the formula using but I could do that because Tinkercad does have encoders. It does have a motor encoders that you can run a motor in there, and I just haven't done that yet.
Yeah. Well,
But I have created the formula to do that. So I'm on my way. Go ahead,
that'd
Ted.
be
What?
cool to see if you ever get that done. I'd like to see you present that.
Yeah, what I'd like to do, maybe next week, I might just be able to come off of my initial reference line, that's going straight, and then just do a right angle triangle with my robot. I'll try to get that done by next week. But I won't have the claw ready and the sensors and all that stuff ready by, I just won't.
I didn't know they had that capability in there, Michael.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's got encoders in there, and it's got motors with encoders. You gotta the little motor is the motor driver is just I forget what chip it is.
Hmm.
I can look real quick.
Well, yeah, it's been a couple years, but last time I checked out Tinkercad, I didn't remember it having all that stuff, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just using it basically to where's my stuff at here? Hold on here.
Can you pull it up and let us see what you got now?
What does my video look like to y'all, you guys?
Well,
Is
it's
We're
just,
just seeing you.
we're just seeing you. Yeah.
okay, let me try to do a screen capture. And I'll do, okay, I'm going to turn this on and do a presentation. Entire screen. Let's see.
You have to click in the little picture of it. There we go.
There it goes.
Okay, does that show the,
We're getting picture and picture and picture.
okay, hold on, let me redo this stop presentation. Entire screen.
You can't look at what you're seeing, Mike. You have to you can't look at this meeting when you're presenting. It has to be a different window.
Okay,
There
I
you
am.
go.
I'm just trying to show you it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I think we're getting it there.
Do you see it?
I see it in the back. Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, now this is can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is one where I have move this over. I'll open the code, and that's all it is I'm taking. This is real simple here. Can you see it code? Is it clear enough or not?
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to run the simulator and I'm going to solve this angle. Angle A is 15 degrees. And it should print out my results. There, 75 degrees is for angle B. So I would need, you see that?
Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So let me do another one. Now here is taking ticks of the encoder to degrees. So I got 430 ticks on my encoder, and it's going to calculate the degrees for me. I'll start the simulator. There it goes. Ticks 2 degrees, 180 degrees, and then it returns back the ticks. Y'all see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna be able to use these hopefully to do my calculations.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
So what
all
was
right,
the
now, huh?
what was the toolbox that they showed? Otherwise, when you started one, there was a toolbox on the right side. So what?
Okay, when I
what
start
do you?
one, I started these. You're talking about these specific ones?
Yeah.
I just started with basic Arduino over here on the side.
Yeah. I was just
Fold it in.
trying to figure out what they got.
Oh, they got all kinds of little stuff there.
Yeah.
But I'll show you. I'll show you this sine, cosine. Let me go back. Here's my sine, cosine, and tangent formula. Here's that code. Okay, now say my degree is going to be 36 degrees. 34, and I can change that to anything I need, right?
Yeah.
So that down here will give me all my sine, cosine, and tangent.
Yeah. Mm.
That's what it did. So I can take that information and put it in my code. Let's see what else they can do here with. Now here's one with two. Okay, here's one with two motors and encoders right here. And the chip the driver they're using is an L293D.
Yeah.
So you just start the simulator.
That interface on that chip is the same that works on the 298Ns. A bunch of other ones are very
Yep.
similar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very.
Anyway, there's the motor going, and it gives you the RPMs according to the code that I've got here, and you can see the RPMs on the little motors there. On the so yeah.
Yeah.
So I could probably, I haven't done it, but I could probably apply that. I'm gonna quit presenting now. I could probably apply that trigonometry to those encoders on that motor in Tinkercad and do a little simulation.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that yet.
Hey, Mike. What's the cost? Are you paying a monthly fee for that?
No, it's all free.
Okay. Hey, that's good. You can't beat
But
that.
all of Tinkercad is free. All of Tinkercad is free.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of a pay for anything on Tinkercad.
The drawback is you can't put in any any libraries, external libraries. So you're kind of stuck with what they give you.
It's kind of a gateway drug, and they use it in a lot of education situations. And the gateway drug is into getting you into Fusion 360, which and that's not one of the story.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work for me because I'm a FreeCAD man. So, but the deal is they can, you got something, a concept, and I can do. See, I do this stuff a lot of times at night in bed on my laptop. You know what I'm saying? You'll be fiddling around before you go to bed, so you can kind of do that. You don't even have to have an Arduino hooked up because. But like I said, you can't use it's real fundamental. But for me, it works for me because I can get concepts in my head and prove them a little bit, and then move on.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's cool. I can see that would be a great teaching tool too. Also.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do they have any processors, or is it just the Arduino Uno?
I think they do. I think they do, and they just introduced a fun simulator for marble mazes and stuff like that you can build.
Mm-hmm.
But let me see here. Let me see real quick. Let me look if they got what they've got. As far as there's microbit. I don't know what that is. Anybody heard of that?
Yeah, that's a British educational product.
It's actually a really cool thing if you want to learn how to do a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Microbit, the Circuit Playground Express, and there's another one I can't think of right now. It's got like lights and it's got RGB stuff and capacitive touch, a whole bunch of junk on it and it's got usually a Blockly interface for programming. That a Blockly or a Scratch, then when you get better, you can turn it into either Python or JavaScript.
It is though really meant for educational stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Although you could probably use it for other things, but
Yeah, it's
education.
Arduino, man. It's what it is.
Yeah.
It's Arduino.
Yep.
Do Arduino stuff.
Hey, it's got a Pololu. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Pololu motor driver in there.
Oh, that's probably for steppers.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Stepper
I'm
motor
using the
driver.
8. Yeah, I'm using the 8th bridge, and there's a lot of stuff in there. NAND gates, NOR gates, a lot of things I don't understand. So anyway, that's about all I got. But I'm on the road to maybe next time we do the 610, I'll have it ready to go. I'll try to do a right triangle for you guys by next week.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, cool.
I have
it's on
some.
my table over here.
I have some stuff if no one's in the queue.
Okay, go for it, Ted.
All right, so I've been working on my outdoor robot. I have some videos to show here.
Whoa.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. There it is. One thing to notice is I'm still trying to tweak everything, so it's all being RC driven, so none of it's autonomous. So I kind of don't feel like I should get a gold star or anything for just autonomous vehicles, but
Yeah.
or I mean non-autonomous vehicles.
But you might get you might get a black start.
Yeah, okay, a black star. I'll take that.
Yeah.
So here is what, and I haven't done a huge amount. I've kind of moved some of the geometry around. I put all my brackets on top of the base just to give myself less things that catch on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So,
so Ted, is this, it's still, when I look at this, it looks like the base is still above the motors. I'm not sure I'm looking at it just right.
yeah. So this video I kind of pan around here, and you can
Okay.
get a view of
So
how everything's mounted. But
the back is definitely up.
Wheels mounted actually underneath, so there you can see there's like nothing underneath. Before I had those swivels mounted underneath the base, so that gives me a lot more clearance now. And I just set up another like obstacle here.
What's your base plate made out of?
Wow, that's pretty good.
That looks good.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
that articulation is really helping with the climbing. So my base plate is made out of ABS. It's just and so that's one big problem I have. I need to put some blocks or something to stop it from flipping around.
Or spring loaded or something maybe.
Yeah, I might do a combination of springs and blocks to stop it, but I left this in because it was just kind of funny. I was trying to get over that, and it really messed up. So let's see. I made one more attempt to get over this, and it was not pretty.
Ouch!
That's cool.
He's like a dying cockroach.
Yeah.
Need a helicopter blade.
Could always put a
then
mechanical
I beefed up
stop.
my obstacle course a little more, and was still able to get over it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And
That'll definitely get over some horse apples for sure.
Well, it looks like you've got your directional, Ted. Like one way it has no problem, and the other way is when the swing arms in the front it seems to be able to go over, and when the one that tilts back side to side is in the back, that seems to work okay.
So that time, and I've been playing with it, trying to decide which way is the front, doing it both ways. Like this way, the side to side swivel is on the back, and it did fine, except for at the end where it kind of fell apart.
But again, that's not the. Well, I guess it is.
Yeah. So I have these stairs going up to my front door, and I thought I'd try out on that, and you can kind of see what happened here. It just kind of got stuck there, and I hit a little harder, and it flipped the wrong direction. And then, with finessing it a bit, it was able to go up. And I actually eventually I got it to climb up the stairs, but I had to kind of push down on that articulated joint there in the front to get the front wheels to pop up. And then it had no trouble if I could get the front wheels to pop up instead of down like they just did there.
So I have a couple of observations. First,
Yeah, okay. And that's kind of what I've been showing this for, is to get some observations about how to help with some of those issues where it's having trouble getting over stuff.
so it reminds me of the rocker bogie with that little rotating thing. And in the rocker bogies, the bogies are in the back. So you would be driving it backwards in this configuration. And it seemed like it works better that way because the front tires can torque their way up a stair better than the back tires. And the second observation is that you probably can just put a mechanical pin in the way of that rocking part, so it can only go so far and then it can't go any further. That'll fix your flipping problem.
Yeah, exactly. I had something like that in mind, just a block on it somewhere to stop it from going too far.
That way its torque can do its work instead of flipping it over.
Yeah, I do think you're right. It might have a little, it might be better to have to reverse the directions there on the stairs because, and my thought here for the stairs was if I just had to lift up the front wheels and the wheels would be able to lift up easier, but that doesn't seem to happen when if it hits something like vertical. In fact, I think those stairs actually go back a little bit, so it has to go backwards.
Yeah, I've
And that
never
would be-
actually done it, but it seems like I remember a height criteria on the rocker bogey that there was some math formula for it could climb something so big based on its rocker bogey size. But I only just started looking at that and I got sidetracked onto something else. So just something to keep in mind. I
Yeah.
think it has to do with how much torque the other pieces can go
And
over.
this isn't exactly a rocker bogey. It's similar,
Yeah,
but it's
similar.
different.
So it may have similar problems.
Yeah.
I mean, what you're showing is that if you were driving it the other way and the other wheels went up first by themselves, then if you had stopped the rocker part from going too far, the front may not be able to get up high enough to get over, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so there's lots of balance things there.
Exactly.
Hey, great start. Come on. I
Yeah.
see them clapping here.
Yeah, boy, going over all of those logs in the backyard is like that's, you're probably not gonna see anything that bad unless you wander off the course. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There
No,
probably
well,
are gullies out there, but
Yeah. Part of this though is this isn't just for the Robo Columbus.
yeah,
I want to do some other outdoor stuff, just like urban environment stuff where I can go over curbs and things.
No, that's how David got started.
Yep.
He ended up. I think he had to go. His first big accomplishment was going around a building down on the SMU campus, where he went all the way around it, and so he had to. He had to overcome a lot of things, and then he's also got a video of it going upstairs.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. I've seen both of those videos. Those were
Yeah.
both very impressive.
Yeah. Well, I think the one that's the most impressive is when he gets around the TI building. That's incredible.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's cool. That's really cool. That's
Oh, Ray has something?
I'm putting that down as a black star.
All right.
Just got the bigger tags in, so we'll see what happens with those.
Oh.
I'm jealous of Ray. I went to 2 different Goodwills and I didn't find any of those motorized things he found.
Yeah.
You know, I had one on my front porch under the table that's on my front porch that my daughter's boyfriend gave my granddaughter. It's been there for like 2 years. It's just like what Ray has, and I forgot it was there. So I'm just going to tear it apart like Ray did and start messing with it.
Yeah.
So,
It seems
that's
to be
pretty cool.
it seems to be a real gold mine of parts if you can get one.
Yeah, I've got one, so that's pretty cool.
You got a hoverboard?
I got a hoverboard that's been under a table on my front porch. It's been under a tarp. There's a tarp on the table, keep it from getting wet. Anyway, my daughter's boyfriend gave it to my granddaughter about 2 or 3 years ago. She played with it for about 3 weeks, and she doesn't. My daughter doesn't have that boyfriend anymore, so I think it's open.
Yeah.
Fair game.
Public domain. Yeah. Fair game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the motors in those are pretty good. If you want to play around with it, I can. I don't have the part number right in front of me, but I got some 3-phase brushless motor drivers that seem to work pretty good, and were fairly reasonably priced. And a lot of those things will go, like, I think the one that I have will go 6 miles an hour. So,
Wow.
and, carry a person that weighs up to 220 pounds. It says it right, right on the label on the outside of the thing, that's an impressive weight.
So that's a three-phase DC.
Yeah,
How does
It's
it work?
a
Or is it a
three-phase
servo?
brushless motors.
they used to call those synchronous motors.
Okay. Isn't that similar to an industrial servo motor? Kind of like a pepper?
Could be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
might have
know.
brushless servos.
yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, they make brushless servos for CNC equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're driving, three different phase windings with sinusoids is the best way to do it. And you can control rotation speed and torque and like I said, those motors are, strong enough to carry a human. So
Sure are.
yeah.
I'm not going to get on it and try it. Did you get on any of yours and try to ride it at all?
No, I avoided that, altogether. I've seen too many videos of, old farts cracking their heads on the concrete and,
My wife, little off subject, but last week my wife fell on the kitchen floor and shattered her shoulder and humerus bone. Got her out of the hospital with brand new replacements of her humerus and her shoulder bone.
Oh wow!
Yike.
I
So
should
that,
say those hoverboards were notorious for sprained wrists and shattered elbows and things like that. I thought that's what they were good for.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they did make a I don't know what you call it. It was like a little you could sit this thing on your hoverboard and it had two levers. So it's like you were using a skid steer, and it had like a caster in the front and, two little footrests.
training wheels.
You could tool around your neighborhood or inside your house, and that's the only way I think people our age would ride those things.
You can buy them places like Walmart. They call them scooters, don't they?
Yeah, this was something that you actually.
I know I was joking, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, the same manufacturer, whoever it is, hoverboard, I guess, is the one that I have. But they made this thing that attached to it. You could, basically you were moving the two sides, and the more you push down on the front of the thing, the faster it'll go forward. And so you were doing that with two levers, and it had a little seat on the back of it. So
Sort of like a Segway.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. But you had that wheel that in front of you, a caster, basically, that your feet were over. So yeah, there's
Interesting.
tons of people wiping out on hoverboards. I think that's
Yeah, I was just curious. I think I'll stay off of mine after what happened to my wife in the kitchen.
Oh yeah. Well, doesn't sound like much fun.
No, she ain't feeling too good right now.
Yeah. Oh, well, anybody else got anything that they want to talk about?
Well, I have a small thing.
Okay.
This probably not coming in clear.
Give me a second. I'm gonna.
That's an Apple iPhone, and what I'm showing, which you can't read because it's too bright, is that they have VNC Viewer for both the iPhone and the Android phone. And the reason I bring that up is you may not remember that when I was doing my telepresence robot, I was using VNC Viewer on my computer
VNC.
to remotely control it. And it requires Wi-Fi, so that's a bit of a bummer. You can't do anything outside to control an outside robot unless you've got the outside robot on the cell phone connected to a Wi-Fi somehow. But for an indoor robot, you can basically remote control your robot with your phone very easily, just with the putting the VNC on it, just like I was doing with my other robot. So I'm pretty excited about that. I haven't actually tried it yet because I'm waiting to finish my new project, which is a pile of parts over here still. I'm going to do something, I guarantee this week I have to, because I've got a deadline coming up. Even with tax season and I haven't started my taxes, I've got 10 days on that. I've got a pile of paper here I'm supposed to implement on my side gig, but I'm going to get some robot stuff done too this week.
Okay. Well, make sure you get those taxes in, Doug.
Yeah. That is a priority.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, well,
any more? I know
I was
you were wondering if you had refined your idea any. Go ahead, Mike.
I was inspired by the IDE, the remote, the interface you had with an LCD, and so I pulled out my Bluetooth code and put it into my robot, and I got it, the Bluetooth running, and I got manual forward and everything running, forward, reverse, side, and stuff. But when I put it on autonomous mode, it's acting up. I think I overloaded the CPU or something. So I gotta go take out the BLE and see if my autonomous code is still working.
So,
Okay.
so is Ted, are you gonna make it to the May, competition? Did you say he was, or
No,
you
he's
gonna make it to the fall?
fall.
Yeah, the fall one.
Fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can't wait for. Well, we'll see how this goes. Like I say, I'm real happy because I feel like I'm getting into. Oh, what's my gut? Hold on, Mike.
Forward, right? Yep. So
Okay.
remote controls on Bluetooth, huh?
Yeah.
He's muted or something.
Yeah.
Mike, you're
Oh.
muted.
I was muted. Yeah, yeah. So it's on the phone and it's functional, but somehow I think the IMU is messing up because I think it uses a lot of CPU power. Well, that's
The
it.
IMU on the robot or the IMU on the phone?
Oh, the IMU on the robot, and then the Bluetooth on the robot must use a. Once I put it on there, then the IMU I think is messing up. I'm not sure. So debug time.
Yeah. Are you? I guess the Bluetooth module is using I2C.
It's built into the Arduino BLE device module. So
Oh,
it's all
okay.
share the same processor. Everything's running on the same processor.
Okay, so that's part of the processor board that you showed the other day. I can't remember what it was. An Arduino.
Yeah. Yeah, they're using the Arduino BLE board, another one with the sensors, so it's BLE Sense, and it has a module that has the Bluetooth in it, and there's no processor on the board. They're using the processor that's inside the module for that line of product.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Harold, how's Twitch doing?
It's still twitching. We got a new Hugo, new bot going in, and one of my, I got one of these for Christmas. Bought myself a Christmas. And, one of my, here I'll show you. my folks has wanted to take over my stream and kind of tell me what to do, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get told what to do all the time, but that's how that works.
Yeah.
This is one of the Make Block Mega.
Mm-hmm.
I got in. I got it extremely cheap, by the way.
Mm.
I mean, I must have got between this, the Bluetooth, and the accessory pack
Mm-hmm.
for sensors and stuff. That's normally like $220 or something, 230, something like that, with the controller and everything. They were doing some sale on the thing, and I had some. So it got up, and I think I paid $129 delivered for all of that. Normally, this thing by itself, the kit by itself with this, they call it a Mega Pi or Pi Mega or something like that. But basically, it's a controller board that accepts their motor controllers, and it's actually really cool. If you see right here, you got male pins here and female pins here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get their motor controllers, they're keyed, so you can't stick them in backwards.
Looks like a 3D printer board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Very similar, and you got a bunch of servo controllers over here if you want to do some things, and some sensors where you can plug in some sensors and things. And this is an ESP32 that you get straight up. But this is right here is a USB connector, and there is protocols for talking to it from a Raspberry Pi.
So the chip that's in the middle, what's that? Yeah, what's that?
That's some kind of I think it's a SAMD, because this whole board is basically of just a fancy Arduino.
Oh, okay.
Right? And then it has this ESP32 to do the Bluetooth and other stuff, and they've got firmware that goes on that board to control all of this.
Okay.
And then you're talking to the firmware on the board and telling it to read this sensor or go forward this way, and that way, and that kind of stuff. And it's got the Mecanum wheels on it, so I should be able to, glide smoothly and frolic and all those sorts of things at some point on the deal. And it has it's RGB, so it's got underlighting, just like the cars that go fast when you put a wing on the back of them.
Yeah,
and that kind of stuff. Yeah, and that kind of thing. Anyway, so we were doing that, and also Mr. Big Head. My Mondays now on my stream are going to be for at least a while dedicated to making my robotic head. You can see him there in the middle of the stream, right about there. I think is where he is. He's turned off right now, but dedicated to making him better, and to use some of my professional practices. We effectively have a 2-hour sprint where we decide on the goal. The goal is small enough where we think we can attain it, and so we're doing value. So a couple of weeks ago, I made it where anybody that uses the commands that makes him talk to me is now being recorded. I remembered that kind of thing. And now this last time we went in and we picked out 11 different voices. So every time he talks to me now, he picks a voice at random and speaks to me. So I might get, we found a Russian voice that did moose and squirrel. I had to say moose and squirrel, and it would just nailed it. I'm like, that's going to be awesome. And then we've got, there's some other people that are French Canadian and other folks that we got some Welsh going in there. And of course, we got the snarky British comment we have that going on. And we were playing around with languages and voice because it'll actually translate. I can say, hello, how are you? And I say, your language is Pakistani or whatever. And it'll do a translation and then speak it out. Of course, I can't understand that. So we're telling it to do everything in English so we can know. Right? It's just a lot of fun. And that's what we're doing. And what I've been doing while this thing has been going on is I've got a Focusrite that I've been working on my audio. So if some of you folks would like to do audio, this guy right here, a little expensive, but it's really, really good. It has some of the best preamps in the market, and it has a USB interface. on it, so you can plug right into the thing. And I'm learning how to control it with this thing over here, which is called a Beacon Mix Create. So what this guy is, I can control volumes and sound right here instead of going to the window. I can also, I've got up to 8 different things I can plug in there. I can mute one of them at a time, or I can mute all of them. What is it? There it is. No, that's not the one. Mute one of them at a time, or I can mute all of them. In fact, you see where it says audience down here? I've got 2 mixes. I've got one mix I can listen to in my headphones, and one mix that goes out to the outside world. And on my OBS, I've got an OBS set up that to the outside world, that's what OBS broadcasts to the outside world. And what goes into my headphones over here is my personal mix. So if I've got something going on in the background, alerts coming off the computer, whatever it is, I hear those, but the audience doesn't hear those things. And what I'm doing there is switching between things. And if I want to switch between, if I just hold it long, come on, don't lie to me. I was just figuring out, oh, there it is right there. If I want to hear what the audience is hearing, I can switch between that. See the little thing that's switching back and forth. I want to hear the audience or not, and then I can mute things out if I don't want them. And then there's a way where I can just plunk it once, and I can delete an individual channel. So I've been playing with, that's what stuff I've been playing with on this to make things better. My sound still sucks, but it is getting better, and we do have background music on my Twitch stream now, which is better than listening to me huffing and puffing and cussing. Not necessarily in that order. You know, so that's what I've been doing and playing, trying to make him a little smarter, trying to get going my balance spot here, which is, I still have it. I am really not happy with the results of what's going on there, and so we're gonna leave that alone for a while, so I don't end up doing something untoward to the balance spot. You know, because I have a standard garage, so I only have 26 feet to the garage door, which is closed. And, you know, I probably want to toss the balance spot a little bit further than that whenever I get a little, you know, upset with it. That sort of thing.
So Harold, this setup, your workshop, is it in a garage? I always thought it was in a basement.
No, I'm in a 2-car garage.
Oh, okay.
I'm in a 2-car garage. It's a 2-car garage. It's a 2-car garage plus a bit over here and a bit on the side because I've got washing machines and stairs that go up over here and on this back, because that's where I'm standing right now, is in the back space where I've got my workbench and all the stuff that I've built and put together over the years and that kind of stuff. Of course, you got all this stuff back here, right? That I've got going on with the thing, trying to make it look like to the stream, I guess a wacky inventor, maker, something or another. I don't know if I'm capturing the right image or if that's coming.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You know,
you're in a garage and I'm in a shed.
Well, there you go.
So,
I call it my lab most of the time there, Michael. I call it my lab because, you know, it's just a garage.
I call it my man shed.
Your man
So
shed. There you go. There you go. Because I just, when I say the lab, in fact, they got a sign back here. I don't know if you can read it. They don't have all the lights on. Wife gave me a sign that says Harold's Lab.
Very cool.
One of my sayings on there is, you hope you are who you want to be. You know, where that comes from. People get up and like, well, you made me do this. Or you made me be this way. I'm like, no, I didn't make you do anything. You may not have liked what I did, but you made the choice to be a jerk. You know, you could also make a choice to not be a jerk, but you chose to be a jerk. You know, and of course, usually when I'm talking, that's my front of the house speak. The back of the house speak is a lot more colorful metaphors in there. So, as you might imagine. You know, that's my Star Wars stuff and other things. Oh, I hadn't shown you this. I have not shown you this. So this will be competing. Not some of it all. This is another stream person that wanted to tell me how to build something or do something on a stream. I think you've probably seen the gym. I know you've seen the gym bot before, but he has a real name, and he's Blockley. He's got a Circuit Playground Express with a cricket on top of it, and he will be attempting both the out and back and the Foursquare. And because I wanted some extra, well, one, I like 3D modeling and stuff too. So I wanted an extra little, hopefully style points. We've got it so we modeled them up some caps, and then we're going to put some lead weights in these in googly eyes. So I've got spinners to show things off. And maybe I can get some judges style points or something.
You're gonna have some overmodulated bass with it, like.
I thought I had all the deals I could stand, and Ray just gave me another idea. Awesome, thanks, Ray.
Yeah, but does yours have a laser beam on yours? A laser at all? Because I think that trumps those little spinning wheels there.
I do not have a laser beam, but I do have, like I say, I've got some lead shot, because in the bottom, I coated, when I modeled these things up, they're just plastic. They're not going to be very heavy at all. So what I did was I made some space on the very edge, so I could put some weights and make them a little offset, so they'd have a motion to. I don't know how well they'll spin. I have no idea, but it's something to give them a little weight. And I've got a whole bag full of googly eyes that we're going to put all over this thing as well. So there you go.
Hey, Errol, what do you stream on what platform?
Twitch.
Twitch, okay.
I am at Harold Pulcher on Twitch. So get a Twitch account, look for my name, Harold Pulcher. As far as I know, the only Harold Pulcher there. And I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 8 to 10 Central. I'm not the most dedicated to being on right at 8, but usually within 5 minutes, I'm online. And I try to do, like I say, Mondays are going to be Mr. Big Head, and it's all .NET coding and Azure and learning about some cognitive services and all kinds of coding kind of things. And I'm trying to do good coding practices. For instance, how the voices work on this is it's like, how would you go about keeping track of, I don't know, could be thousands of voices. We just have 11 now. I could eventually put in every kind of voice combination they have, which is going to be, I think there's like 270 different voices or something. It's huge. And because all the voices, not only are they just like, I'm female and I'm from France. They have a language associated with them, and a lot of times they have an inflection, like, am I sad? Am I happy? Am I an assistant? Am I a newscaster? They will have different inflections in their voices for doing all of that. And basically it's a text string that you send into it. But each one of those needs a connection to Azure, or potential knows how to connect to it. It needs to have its voice and its string, and it's a sealed class that I can't touch. So what we've decided to do, I say we because as I'm building this, there's people chatting up going, hey, why don't you try this? Okay, we'll try that. I have a dictionary that has the voice name in it that I care about. And then the dictionary is a key and a value. That value is an instance of a method that's been configured to just do that voice. It's literally, think of it as an object that when I say, give me the value of the dictionary from this key, whatever I get back, I just tell it to talk and it'll do the right thing. It'll go out and do the right sound. So I don't have to worry about fetching this stuff and picking it all up. I set it up once. It's hidden away from it's hidden away from the entire rest of the program. All it has to do is say this as maybe a voice in the future. We haven't got to that part yet about how we spec a voice, because at some point the idea is my users, if they're a VIP mod or a subscriber, have the ability to use the say command, so they can tell Mr. Big Head sitting on my desktop here to say a word or a phrase or any kind of thing like that. So they go bang MVH space say the command space whatever they want to say. Now I'm not filtering that, so at some point if I get big enough, I may have to filter some of that. But I take that, I send it into cognitive services and tell it I want to speak this text using this voice that I'm going, and I've got a way to make that straightforward to go do all that. And at the high level, it doesn't know what's going on. It's this low level thing down here that worries about connecting it up. And so what I want to do is, you become a tier 2, or you pay enough bits or something. I'm going to do part of this is, I'm going too crazy. Part of this is that you got Mr. Big Head, the hardware does all the stuff, talks to the Twitch, that kind of thing. We got Azure Functions that are doing some things up there. It's going to eventually store a lot of this information because Mr. Big Head can get powered on and powered off, and it can't remember stuff, right? And then we have a web page. More than likely, what's going to happen is that once you are a certain tier or a certain level of member, I'm going to allow you to log into the web page and set which voice you want to be every time you come in and talk to me. So your same voice all the time, right? And that's all Blazor, WebAssembly, and all of this is .NET and Azure all the way through. So I'm trying to learn a little bit and teach a little bit and use stuff I don't get to use at work all the time to figure out what's going on. So that's kind of where we're headed with this. So it's got a web application that we need to do some fun stuff with. It's got some stuff in the cloud for storing tables and databases and functions and that kind of stuff in the cloud to do things. And it's got stuff on the Raspberry Pi to do stuff with. So we're going to just kind of jump all over the place. Here, let me put myself back so you can actually see me. Put stuff all over the safe, back all over the safe. So it's a kind of an end-to-end project. Oh, and wait a minute, I'm not even done with that. Because it is a Raspberry Pi, I can put MQTT on it. OBS, if you're using OBS for anything right now, inside of OBS, you can turn on, in the recent versions, you can turn on an MQTT server. So it can become a hub, right? And so the Raspberry Pi can talk to it. So at some point I could have the Raspberry Pi, the Mr. Big Head, update something or change something or have something go off. I've got another thing called streamer.bot that's also listening to Twitch comments, but it knows how to listen to events, like somebody's paid me money or somebody subscribed or somebody's did that, and it can do different things to OBS. And because they're both on MQTT, at some point I could have some weird thing happen that's totally out of the realm of whatever, have it come through StreamerBot, connect through MQTT to the Mr. Big Head, who will say, oh, I know we need to do this, and then have any number of Arduino things that could go off in my lab because they're off on MQTT as well, listening to those things in the Wi-Fi. Is that ambitious enough for you folks?
That's a lot.
Ambitious.
That's a lot.
I didn't get all that. Could you start over? I didn't get all that.
And the thing is, I'm trying to make it simple enough. We're doing it step by step. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And are we going to get to all those things I just described before I die? Hopefully the answer to that is yes. But we're just gonna have a fun. We're gonna have a good time and try to have a fun thing. If you go to my Twitch channel right now, you'll see they call them VODs, video on demand. And look for the last time I streamed, which was Monday night. And you'll see us playing with the voices and doing something in the last hour or so. Yeah, it was lots of fun. It was lots of fun. We got everything finally working. Yeah. So anyway, I'm trying to use all my professional software things, and we use GitHub Actions. So somehow Mr. Big Head and his runner doesn't want to stay running, which is kind of cheesing me off. But it's where I can check in my code. Once I get it working on my laptop the way I want it to work, I push it into the main branch on GitHub. It fires off a queue, puts into the queue a job to run for the uh, runner on the Raspberry Pi. And the runner, if it was up and running, and it does run just fine, it just somehow, I think there's something weird with the token and authentication and some other goofiness I don't quite understand yet. It'll go up and say, oh, once a minute, go, oh, you have something for me to do. And okay, I will go do that. It will pull down the code, compile the code, stop the Mr. Big Head service that's running on the Raspberry Pi. It's a Linux service. Like if you've ever done Linux service before, that's what it is. Stop the service, compile the code, install the code, start the service back up. And so from the time I push that in, by the time it comes out, it's about 5 minutes maybe, and I've got a code delivered and code published in an automatic fashion. And I didn't touch it. Now, last night I had to touch it because, well, Mr. Big Head, the Raspberry Pi there, that runner service doesn't want to stay running between reboots. Not happy about that. Anyway, those are all the things that we've got planned just for Monday night. And of course, we do really, really small bites. Really small bites. So hopefully we can get something done in the 2 hours. And then Wednesdays and Fridays are robots and any other project I want. In fact, this Wednesday I'm going to be prepping. I'm going to be prepping to go to John Quincy Adams Elementary School, and we will be building. We will be building wobble bots. I've got about 100 of them from Shenzhen, and I don't know, 3 years ago in 2019. That's how long I've held on to them because we couldn't meet face to face. And I'm going to go in there. And this last weekend, me and about 8 other people got together and did the soldered the connections for the switch, the battery, and the motor, because they had you taping them together. And I tried on my stream, like, there's no way kids are doing this. It's just not. So we started them all together for them. So hopefully, come Thursday between about 8 to noon, we're gonna convert about somewhere between 80 to 90 second to fifth graders into robot creators before it's all said and done. I got them for 30 minutes, and it's a AA battery, DC motor, a switch, an offset toggle, and we build this little plastic thing with 3 legs off of it and attach markers to them, and away we go on a piece of paper that I give them. So, hold on a second. Gotta find my. Don't know what I did my exam. Okay. I gotta find my example, but that is a WobbleBot. It has googly eyes, the whole works. And this is the kit that we put all the stuff. I give them a little screwdriver and all that kind of stuff, and we're just gonna have a good old time with it.
How much does that cost?
Um,
That package? Yeah. You get them on like Alibaba or whatever that is?
AliExpress.
AliExpress, yeah.
And I don't exactly remember. I ordered 110 of them or so at $1.80 to $2.25 a piece. I don't remember, somewhere in that range.
Right.
And I just paid them with a credit card. This is my contribution back to the community to help. I don't know, be goofy. I don't know.
Right.
And it's not the best kit in the world. In fact, it doesn't even come with a little screwdriver. I had to order some extra of the little screwdrivers for your eyeglasses, and I got 100 or so of those too. And I got my job that I work for Improving. They they kicked in 100 batteries, 100 AA batteries for the cause. So anyway, that's what I'll be doing Thursday, and on Wednesday night we'll be prepping my glasses and make sure everything works on me electronically and making sure I know where all the stuff is. So Thursday morning we can load up and go. And I didn't mean to take over everything.
No, it's pretty cool.
I'm not sorry about it, but I am a little, but because I've been talking a lot and kind of taking over the conversation. I tend
Thanks,
to.
Harry.
I don't mean to. I tend to do that though.
Kudos for helping out the community.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I live in a tech desert. I don't know where you folks. Oh, I got some guess where some of you live, but I mean, well, Doug's been to my house. I'm living down in a tech desert, man. You know, it's just uh, there's a Walmart kind of close, and there's some Fiesta and some other stuff, but there's I mean, if if you want to learn how to put fancy rims on a thing on a truck and jack it up and make it where you can't really drive it, but it looks cool like a Matchbox car. We got all of that, and we got some vape shops, and we have used tire stores, and
Do you have Amazon delivery?
what else?
Does Amazon make it to your house?
Yeah, Amazon make. I mean, I'm just 4.5 miles from downtown Dallas, but it's just in our neighborhood.
If you got Walmart and Amazon, what else do you need?
What I was going at was these kids that I'm going to try to inspire to be an evil genius a little bit on. They're not surrounded with enough tech, so I don't know that they're in the situation to be able to be inspired. Does that make kind of sense?
Yeah.
See, that's kind of where I'm going when I say I'm a tech desert. Yes, I can get all the stuff I need. I don't mind driving down. Mauser's about 45 minutes. I don't mind making the drive on the to get
I live
that kind of stuff.
I live 10 minutes from Mauser.
Well, there you go. So I'm more jealous of you than other people are jealous of me. The fact that I don't have to pay shipping to Mauser makes most of my audience.
You do a will call, don't you? I do.
Absolutely, I will call it. And for me, the timing's about the right, so I can call them and say, "Hey, I want this," and say it'll be ready in about an hour. And I said, "Okay." Time I get my shoes and shorts on and whatever, and drive down there it's ready for me. It's like no waiting, as far as I'm concerned. And so, yeah, but I just, I figure out of the 90 to, hopefully, I'm going to probably top out just between 90 and 100 kids. Hopefully, if I get one of those kids, which I'll never know, I never really will know, one of those kids interested in the world of robotics or the world of technology or the world of doing something, I think that'll be a success. I think that'll be a success. I was doing it off enough that people remember me. Oh, you're the guy with the LEDs and that kind of thing. Yes, I'm that guy. We're going to do Play-Doh and Squishy Circus this time. Come on. We're going to do that kind of stuff, because the kids get to choose. The way it works is, you got police and firemen and coaches and all these kind of stuff showing up for the career day. And the kids get to pick and choose on which ones they go and see and what they go and do. And so generally my first session is not as well attended as the last session, because they're like, "Hey, this guy gave us stuff," because they get to take those bags home. I know I'm probably annoying parents, but I really don't care. In fact, I hope I annoy them, because they should be doing more, that kind of thing. Thanks, David. I got the thumbs up from David, because I say they should be doing more. I have no idea what they're doing. I'm sure they're doing the best they can. But this is where things are going. And I'm not saying we don't need electricians and dish diggers and waste disposal people. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if you have the aptitude for this, which not everybody does, explore that.
Mm-hmm.
Make it explorable, make it easier, and that kind of thing. So, anyway, that's my rant and rave for a while, and some of my philosophy, all that kind of good stuff.
Just kind of following on your thing, my granddaughter, who was into artwork, and they had a thing at SMU, I don't know, 10 years ago or more, of animation, and she's now at DreamWorks doing animation.
Nice. That's pretty nice. Wow.
Fantastic. That's awesome. For the longest time there, SMU had a what is it, game development university or something. It was some offshoot there at SMU where they had teachers that would show you how to do 3D animation and get you into the digital realm of doing stuff and that kind of stuff. I have no idea what it costs to go to and do to, but it seemed like a cool thing to offer that up to folks.
Well, actually, her high school had a animation using Maya as a course.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Hey, Jack, do I see you messing with your coffee machine back there?
Yeah, it's almost ready for a demo. Right now, I've got the hardware almost complete, and now I'm just trying to recalibrate the software to match the new hardware.
Okay, so are we going to see it tonight?
I suppose I could give you a quick demo. It's nothing too much to show, except I was able to get it to move about twice as fast as it was going.
Okay.
Set it up here. So I'll just start it off right here to show it going to its start position. I'm not sure if you remember it all, but it would go much slower than that. Oh, it's good to know. Yep. So that's about all I've got right now.
Okay.
But maybe next week I should hopefully be able to have it do a bit more.
Okay. All right. So kind of tell us again, because you didn't have what was in there. One of them's a cup dispenser. That's the first black one.
Yeah, that's
this one. Yeah. Okay. And then what's the next step?
The next step is the syrup dispenser.
Okay.
And then coffee would be right here, but I'm still delaying getting the coffee machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this will be the mixer section where it will mix the coffee and the syrup and everything. And then right over here's the cap dispenser. And then we'll drop the cup right over here and press the cap onto the cup.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Neat.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're getting there.
Yeah, it is getting there. Hoping maybe a little less than a month I'll be able to have it make a chocolate milk.
Oh, chocolate.
There you go.
Okay. So it's going to be a chocolate milk coffee machine.
Well, the chocolate milk will just show that if it had the
worked.
coffee machine, it could do everything I wanted it to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of my big first step.
Yes, I understand.
And then I'm going to make the app, and then I'll add on the coffee machine.
Got it. Got it. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody wants to see it, bigger barcodes
Okay. Let's
do
see
get
it.
you more distance.
Okay. They do get you more distance.
Yep. Anyway, this one is about at 9 feet, so it's like I got about 4 more feet out of it by enlarging it.
So how large is it now, Roy?
It's on this is 11 by 17 paper. I don't know if you can.
So the
see how
one
big
that
is.
the target that's there is that size?
Yeah, back there at 10 feet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
the one that's flashing,
Yeah.
right? Let's see, where is it?
Well, not the front one. The front one's smaller.
Yeah, this one is at 10 feet. That's the smaller one here, so it looks like regardless of the size. Whoops.
Can it distinguish the distance between those two? Or which
Say that
one's
again?
Can it distinguish which one's closer?
Well, they're two different sizes. I don't think you should. I don't think you're supposed to mix sizes when you do this.
But I mean, does it know which one's closer to the camera than the other one?
There's a size comparison of the two.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So I think I can probably get 10 feet if I go just a little bit bigger. But I'm probably gonna have to, go with a plotter versus. I think this is the biggest piece of paper you can run through a copy machine at FedEx.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to say that if I remember, they used to have black and white plotters. Otherwise, you can get one that's in black and white pretty cheap.
Yeah, it looks like they still charge by the square foot.
Yeah, but it's a lot cheaper,
Yeah, it's maybe, I don't know, they add a little fee in for enhancing it or something like that, and doing the layout. And so it's like altogether for something that's like, I want to say 18 by 24 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably around $10 per sheet.
Another thing that it's probably more expensive, but something would be interesting, would be to try to get the same vinyl company that does our line following courses and stuff.
Yep.
That might be comparable, and it would be a lot longer lasting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And probably higher contrast too.
Yeah, maybe I can even get like anti-glare or something, so it doesn't matte finish, so it doesn't reflect.
Yeah.
So that'd be good.
Okay.
And that's always an issue with the color, where you get, you can get reflections on the floor from a colored object, especially the neon green or neon orange. Those bright colors.
Well, this is cool. So you think you got the distance, so now you got to work on the algorithm for distance.
Yeah, I think that's already built into what you get with the OpenMV IDE.
Oh, okay.
Looks like you can pull those parameters out. They didn't in that example, but you can list them at the end and include them. So so that'll be good. I'll have to see if that works.
Okay.
It's either going to be that or blob detection with two large,
Color
green panels at the end.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you need any. You don't necessarily need a panel. You could probably, like I said, do with a pole. If you had a couple inch, you like a piece of 3-inch pipe or something.
Yeah, it's having something cylindrical is good, because as you approach the two, your images don't.
They don't change.
Yeah, they don't change. It's always the same width across it as you're, driving up to it or near it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about that too. Just bend it in a cylinder and stick it on the end, so then that way it's always the same width.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, let me ask, David, did you get those things that I sent you? I don't know if he's there.
David Ackley?
No.
No, I tried the password and couldn't get in there.
Okay, it should.
But-
I'll check it because it should.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm not sure why it didn't. All right. Okay.
But, I guess as a FYI, I taught a robotics class at DMS this weekend.
Oh, okay. Cool. Great.
And, had 6 students show up, and they all said they had a good time.
Well, that's great. I hope you send them this way sooner or later, or if you could.
Yeah, I'm trying to hook in them slowly.
Okay. Good.
I told them about the upcoming competition and so forth, so we'll see.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Just all you need is one, David.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll check it out, and if I made a mistake, I'll resend it. Okay.
Okay. I may have needed to log in as a member first. That's the only thing I didn't do.
No, don't. I gotta admit, I know I'm always in as a member, so I don't know. I never tried it. I don't think you do though. I don't. All you need to do is go to that site. Okay. So anyway, I'm glad we talked because I'll go look, and if it's wrong, I'll fix it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
I commented out my Bluetooth code and Six-Pack put all 6 of them in the goal. So it was a Bluetooth code.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. Getting there. Now, how about you, Pat? You've been quiet today. Got anything?
No, I'm working away, trying to iron out some bugs in some code here.
Okay. All right.
I've got some trouble turning around at the far end, so I'll tell the robot to go out 1.5 meters.
Yeah.
Spin around 180 and come back.
Mm.
And so when I spin around and come back, I start hunting on the way back.
Oh,
So I'm overshooting on my correction.
okay.
So I'm just trying to figure out, do I put in a PID or do I just...
Now this is a target. When you go to a certain waypoint.
Yeah, to go to a certain target.
Okay. Here's there's 2 ways of doing it. One of them is pretty simple. You never tell it to go to a target. You tell it to go to plus or minus a target. That's one. So you band it.
Yeah,
So,
I did do that. I've got a
okay.
dead band of 5 centimeters.
Okay, but the other thing that you can do that works really well is if you get close, every time you get closer, you keep going. But as soon as you start getting further, you declare, I found that one, and you move on to the next one. You follow me? So
Okay.
if I'm closer to, it's not as close as it was, then you get rid of it.
Okay, soon as I'm greater than where I was.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That part is easily doable.
Yeah, and you usually do it inside some sort of zone. So like if you're using 5 centimeters, you might start picking it up at say 15 centimeters.
Yeah, I've
All
got
right.
a slow down zone at, I forget. I might be 50 centimeters out.
Yeah.
Which
But
is
what
like a long
I'm
way.
saying is when you start looking to see if you're closer, because you could later on develop code where if you had an obstacle, it'd actually go further from the waypoint while you were trying to get around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to have a circle around the point that you're trying to get to. That's before that you start looking. Do you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
5
I do.
centimeters
I
might
have
be
a slow down distance before I start.
that's 2 inches, right? 5 centimeters is 2 inches.
5 centimeters is my dead band saying, hey, you're close enough to the target.
Okay, so yeah, I'd probably look at 10 or 15, and then I'd say if the reading I just got is further than the reading that I had, then I'm there.
Okay.
That way,
I'm making it there, so that part I've got.
Mhm.
The problem I've got is when I return back to home. So I I turn around and I start doing rotating, and I rotate at 180 degrees essentially to go back to where I was, but I'm overshooting and I'm overcorrecting as I go back.
Otherwise, you turn 190 degrees and then you wobble back and forth.
And yeah, I wobble and wobble and wobble all the way back right now,
Okay.
which is better than I was because I was turning so many degrees, but it was in radians, so I would not even come close to where I was supposed to be.
If you're turning in place, and I'm not saying this is absolute, this is not, if you're using whatever Dave does, you shouldn't have to. But one of the things that I've done on my code is if I'm going into a turn that's greater, otherwise if I suddenly say my target's behind me, okay, so I have 180 degrees to get to my target, I turn the forward motion off so that it goes into a rotation only mode, and it keeps rotating until the angle gets close, and then it turns back on, and that seems to help too. All right, but usually you have two different values. For example, like I'll say if the angle is greater than 60 degrees, then I will turn the forward motion off and start rotating, and then, but I will undo it when I'm say 10 degrees or 15 degrees, and in that last 10 or 15 degrees, you know, I'm just working on the PID loop. So anyway, that's another way to do it. It's not necessarily the best. Like I say, you should be able to do it without doing that, but I have done that where I wanted to turn completely in place.
Yeah, and that's where I was sort of leaning right now is, do I turn around and put a PID or that turnaround are coming out of it to try to stop?
You can, you know, if you could, for this contest for sure, you could do a ballistic turn. That's, you know,
well,
just
that's
turn the
what you
pit
want
off.
to do, I think, is without the can or 6 can, sorry, is turn around in place so you don't knock something over, supposedly, if there's another can close by.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is the one thing I've never really been real happy with is, okay, so you put the can down, you laid the can beyond the goal. Well, now you have to back up.
Yep.
And almost always that's done ballistically. Otherwise, you know, I just back up. I either back up a target distance, or I back up a time, or something that gets me away from the can so that my gripper won't hit it when I turn. Anyway, that's, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. You back up a certain distance or whatever, or back up a turn, however you want to do it.
Yeah, yeah. So like if you just drop the can off, okay, you've got ultrasonic readings on it or sensor readings on it. So you can keep backing up until that distance on your sensor says, okay, I'm now 3 or 4 inches back, and then turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, those are some ideas.
Yeah, so right now, basically, it's just trying to make sure all my odometry and my turns are working so that I'm not overshooting everything. Getting my motions in control, and then after that comes the ballistic behaviors and set up a target. I also got most of an arena built. I'm trying to get my wife to paint it.
Well, okay. Good luck, dude.
Well, I just paid for a trip out. She's out west in Alberta right now to see the grandson and the kids. So I'm sure she'll be in a good mood when she comes back.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So that's the plan: is get her to paint that, and then I won't tell it it's going to go in the living. I won't tell her it's going to go in the living room for a while.
Yeah. That's probably a smart move.
I think I'll put it in the garage. I was thinking about it, and I'll clean out enough of my garage to put the arena in there, and then it's heated, so.
Yeah.
Incidentally,
I was going to say, your wife's not going to force her to go outside, is she?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. We've had 14 inches of snow in the last 10 days.
Oh wow.
Oh,
We hit our first 90 day today. So first
Oh,
90
wow,
for
already?
the year. Yeah, I know. Not
Yesterday,
looking good.
yesterday was 10 degrees C, so that's I think 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah. I don't know. What is 90?
50. It's 9 fifths C plus
90 is
32.
30 degrees or so.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, cold enough. I mean, hot enough.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
You get the humidity there too.
today we
Getting up
did.
there.
Today we did, for sure. Sometimes we don't have that bad a humidity, but today we did because it rained yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I don't know if you've all been watching the weather. It's supposed to be nasty tonight. So.
Is it?
Or like 3 o'clock in the morning for me, but.
Yeah.
Mostly cloudy with a chance of tornadoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I feel for you guys. They're extremely rare up here in Canada.
yeah.
You know, if we
Well-
have a tornado a year, we're amazed.
Yeah.
I went through when I went to New Brunswick in January, February, I forget when it was. Hurricane Fiona went through the area, right where I was working.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked at the devastation. There's a few houses knocked down, trees all over the place, just blown over.
Yeah.
I'm amazed with what you guys put up with hurricanes in there.
Yeah. Well, tornadoes. If you get hit with a real tornado, all it leaves is the slab.
Yeah.
There's
Or it can,
everything
yeah.
else is gone.
Yeah.
You know? But usually we don't get, they don't touch down that, usually you see a lot of houses damaged, looks like somebody ripped the top off of them.
Yeah. You see the
Yeah.
roof's gone.
Yeah. And, but the one that I hate is if you have your car out and they have hail, boy, your car looks like somebody shot it with a shotgun. So it's pretty
Oh, yeah.
bad.
We all have our problems.
Yeah.
Don't
At
fall
least
dead.
we're not
Fall
under
over the car.
10 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
been shoveling like crazy here.
Yeah. Anybody got anything last words to say or whatnot? Okay, then.
Nope.
I'm going to stop the recording here. It looks like Carl's going to stop the recording. We're going to all be good. So, great.
Stay safe, guys.
Bye.